This book is titled Let Me Put You On. The author's name is Nathan Smith, and it is also narrated by Nathan Smith. I hope you all enjoy this audio book, and again, let me put you on. Introduction. I would like to open this book with a thank you, and to let you know that I am excited to support you on your journey. Hopefully, by the end of this book, you would have begun to implement the 11 golden laws that I believe will ultimately lead you to success. As the results start to manifest, please share your experience with others. I found that discussing these laws with new minds and new options have been fundamental in deepening my understanding and consequently my success. In my 25 years I've lived, I've never been employed by the man or woman. I did pick up a retail assistant job for a week during the Christmas sales, thanks to my friends Reese and Marcio, but this is a memory that I shall remain buried forever. I absolutely hated it. The path of the entrepreneur was one that captured me. From labouring haircuts in the school toilets at the age of 13, selling DVDs and DVDs at break time, there is no denying that I've always had my eye on the prize, a hustler. My earliest urge of life of entrepreneurialism came at the age of 12 after the old "can you buy me new trainers" conversation with my mum that we all know too well. You see, the thing was, my parents were happy to buy me new trainers, but solely on the understanding that it would cost no more than £30. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking, £30 is reasonable, right? But here's the thing, it just wasn't enough to keep up with the rest of the kids at school. And I didn't want to be that kid that stood out, so off I went with my £30, determined to make up the extra cash. And this is where my story began. Another perspective altering moment for me was watching The Secret by Rhonda Brown. At the young age of 13, the DVD was gifted to me by my barber at the time, whose name was Hakeem, and it set forth the underlying theme that you will pick up the book, The Law of Attraction. From this, I surged into neuro-linguistic programming and the art of mental mastery. This came in handy in my quest to develop my leadership skills and enable me to excel during my 3 years at the Air Training Corps. By the age of 16, I was commanding a squadron of 50, after having obtained my Blue Wings, my Duke of Edinburgh Silver Badge, and a shot series of rifles, including the No. 8 and the L98 rifle. I later came across a highly influential speaker called Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn passed away December 2009, but over the years helped me to strengthen my mind, teaching me the key principles of business and helping me to become a better man. He recommended the work of other great influencers such as Brian Tracy, who gave me a resource to elevate myself to new heights. Fast forward to college and university, business studies seemed like the only course that suited my agenda. So, business studies it was, studying hard and consuming as much information as possible. I thought, maybe I shall put this learning into practice. I managed to secure a space to rent out a chair in a local barbershop, and before I knew it, I was self-employed. But I needed more. My hands was in a good place, and my creative juices were flowing. So I started to attend regular sessions and radio stations such as Axe FM, where I could rap for hours. Alongside this, I picked up a few acting classes and managed to land a part in a reality TV series called Club Life UK. But it didn't stop here. I casted for a role in a production called Above Romance and later a movie called The Weekend, which is available on Netflix. I was really finding my feet. Whilst my early success as an actor opened my eyes to opportunities I'd never previously considered, my passion always brought me back to cutting and styling. So, here we are. I'm 25, and the year's 2018. There are now 2 Smith's Hair Studio branches, a team consisting of 11 people, and a strong online presence with over 11,000 supporters. Taking this moment to reflect on the success so far, I have pulled 11 identifiable rules that I would like to share with you. So let me put you on. Law 1, day or night, choose one. For me, Law 1 is the most important. It asks you to think about the many distractions that arise throughout the day and encourages you to identify your optimal working time frame. For me, this started as a simple question, daytime or nighttime. My perception of the night has always been somewhat pessimistic, littered with antisocial behaviour, drugs, alcohol and other elements that our parents would likely advise us against. I've always associated it with negativity, but in contrast, the daytime is filled with positivity, fitness, sunshine, and ideal space for productivity. Finding your zone can be difficult. Often, I found aspiring entrepreneurs spiraling into a frenzy of long days and nights, squeezing in time for their projects wherever they can. In doing so, there are endless distractions and an inherent disorientation that hinders their creative rhythm. There is also a danger that one could lose the passion that initially put them on their path. Creating consistency and allocating a time slot which is specific to your project and will give you the excitement and breathing space needed to be creative and to stay focused on your journey to greatness. From personal experience, I found that imposing this form of structure enables you to take control of the rest of your day. Activities such as reading, exercising, and maintaining a healthy diet come in easy tasks to manage as you begin to reduce the frequency of bad habits, bad choices, and, in my case, bad sleep. Influenced by my experience with a favoured motivational speaker and businessman, T. Harv Eker, my method of structure prioritizes specific tasks in order to prioritize energy. Using the idea of focused flow, energy is reserved for the most important tasks in my day to maximize output and creativity. This is a lesson I would like to impart on to you. My advice, do not juggle. Better structure equates to improved and targeted efficiency. You are your only competition, and the goal is to get better every time. Law 2, the roast. This is no sex and no masturbation. The inspiration and influence for this law came from Napoleon Hill. He talked about the transmutation of sexual energy in this book, Think and Grow Rich. In the book, Hill emphasizes that all people of genius use their sexual energy as fuel for their creativity. Reading and understanding this advice is one thing, but putting it into action is another. Through trial and error, I've discovered that for me, this was an extremely important part of growing my success. The willpower and commitment needed to achieve this will not only give you the energy of action, but it will also improve self-discipline and strengthen your concentration. If not harnessed correctly, your sexual thoughts can be a major distraction. The key is learning how to tame these thoughts and channeling the energy into more useful activities. This requires a level of discipline that, for many, is uncommon, but can be achieved through willpower and acknowledgement of the ultimate goal and the art of meditation. Inevitably, some of you will find this more difficult than others, and I would recommend the practice of meditation for you particularly. It will aid you in taking control of your urges and help switch off unwanted thoughts and distractions. I look at this shift as having only a litre of petrol in my car, and it is just enough to get me to my destination. The idea behind this is shifting the energy you use on sexual energy and allowing it to fuel whichever activity it is that you want. In this instance, to prioritize your goal. For me, going without sex meant I was much more temperamental. I slept for fewer hours, but in turn still felt much stronger. I noticed I was particularly more flirtatious. Other changes that may incur are things such as posture correction, and uprightness. Your voice may even get deeper, and hair growth may be a lot quicker. Your mating signal beacon call will be ringing loudly as your overall attractiveness will skyrocket, as will your performance in work, relationships, health, and most importantly, confidence. As this clash between a growing attractiveness and celibacy become more apparent, I warn you, you will inevitably experience encounters where you will battle with yourself not to break that commitment that you made. Keep this in mind and stay focused. As you can see, this is a commitment that will take time and energy to achieve. My advice is to first start with 1 month, have a break, then 2 months, have a break, then 3 months, etc. This will enable you to control your sexual energy and mind and allow you to switch your genetic superpower whenever you want. You will then have full mastery of the roast. Law 3. Subconscious protection. It is important to consider the elements that influence your subconscious mind and our frame of reference. Often, we fail to consider the type of information we spend our times consuming and the impact that it may have on our perspective. From my own experience, I noticed my changing desire and my growing inability to save money the more I began to subscribe to music, fashion, and popular culture. For me, these translated to and were insistent on keeping up with trends, splashing your cash, and living the fast life. It was at this moment that I knew that the information I consumed needed to point more towards my desires. It's almost like the movie where the straight A student is caught up in the wrong crowd and everything comes tumbling down. This is the inevitable result of when you take your eyes off the prize and allowing your subconscious mind to be swayed. A key tool to strengthen this is meditation. If you close your eyes for just 10 minutes a day, focus on your breathing and hold clear mental pictures of everything you desire, your subconscious will make sure you have the drive to achieve them. We must be more conscious in protecting our minds against things that divert us from our goals, trying to dodge distractions at all costs, as these are things that can leave your mind distorted and your visions blurred. It can also impact your willingness to dedicate yourself to your goal, and as the saying goes, the hardest choices require the strongest will. This law can be the very thing that will keep you on your track during some of the most difficult times. Law 4. Value my attention. There are many things that impact our ability to concentrate. A key skill for an entrepreneur with minimal time, however, is to ensure that we focus our attention on the right things. Always remember that distraction and concentration are cousins. Distraction is a bad influence on concentration, so try to keep them as far away from each other as possible. This chapter gives you a few clips on how to do this. In essence, willpower is the electricity that fuels your concentration. It can be strengthened through the use of meditation and is vital in building a successful career. As mentioned in the last law, I would recommend meditating for at least 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. I believe you have two options. When it comes to your attention, option 1 can be to invest your efforts in learning how to focus. This will give you a return on investment in result and a profitable surplus. Option 2 would be to allow yourself to be distracted, wasting your concentration by paying attention to things that will not benefit your life in any way. Focusing your attention on things that have no value can not only waste time, it can also damage a person's self-esteem, cause harm to confidence, and affect their outlook on many other aspects in life. For example, if you are constantly looking at things every day that you don't have but want, and you cannot figure out means of getting them, this can somewhat depress you. This could result in you feeling demotivated after failed attempts of achieving such things, and could make you feel inadequate. When you are low, it is more difficult to be productive. Take social media as an example. There are photos of people partying, wearing the latest clothes, driving the latest cars, and situated in the most luxurious locations. This could damage your self-esteem, as the thought of never matching up to them can be mentally draining. Is that when you are concentrating on something at a certain level, you develop the ability to distract others with it. I always suggest that if you ever need to distract someone, the best way to do it is with your own concentration. This is a powerful tool. I'll go into the crisis behind distraction more in detail in Law 9. Law 5. Leaders are readers. It's a famous quote that I got from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was a legendary motivational speaker and writer who was widely regarded as one of the most influential thinkers. To be in a leadership position, you must consistently be acquiring knowledge. One of the most effective ways to do this is by reading. The average CEO reads up to 10 books a month. I'm talking about the CEOs in the millionaire bracket. These people are reading and applying their knowledge to benefit their success. The underlying essence of this law applies even with the introduction of audiobooks. If you are constantly reading self-improvement books, your life will inevitably become a form of an experiment. As you are applying new strategies towards the way that you live, you will begin to experience different outcomes. This is when the very mysteries of life will become apparent. I go into the reason behind this in Law 7. As a leader, you must be seeking new and productive information to share with people who depend on your teachings for inspiration and direction. Reading proves that you are constantly looking for new relevant information. Other people just like you who are wanting to grow their knowledge and success have written books that are available to you. Other people just like you who are wanting to grow their knowledge and success have written books that are available to you. Information that is there to inspire you, just as it did them. Reading will help to mold and shape your vision. If a team does not believe their leader has the knowledge or vision to lead, they will refuse his advice or her. Every leader has a very adventurous story and lesson that needs to be passed down. It's a matter of picking which platform is best for you to share that knowledge. Reading will help you discover a style of writing. When a time comes, you will have a better understanding of your angle. While writing a book is one way your story can be transmitted to the masses, you could also provide snippets of the book on a platform such as YouTube or Instagram and direct the viewers to a website where the book can be purchased. I was inspired to write this book by reading. Other people's success gave me the motivation to tell myself I can do this. I have knowledge to share with people from my own life experience, and I believe people will be able to relate these life lessons to their own lives and add value. Every day is survival, and you will be faced with scenarios that will test your intelligence to try to make you feel subordinate. Being challenged and falling short not only brings down your self-esteem, but it also makes the people who you are inspiring change their perception of you. They may see you as weaker and change their views of what you teach. Inevitably, by you being a weaker leader, it will change the overall production of the team and cause the lack of focus. My advice is to read every day, grow your knowledge and better yourself. This will prevent you from being faced with challenging situations that can cause harm to the very image you are working towards. Law 6. Skills pay the bills. Master the art of knowing thyself. Time and time again, I've found that we are often oblivious to some of our strongest skills and capabilities with the hope that one day our strengths will shine through. Instead, we should be aiming to identify these skills at the earliest possible point and seeking to develop them to maximize our success. Our skills are the very cornerstone from which we can build our empire. Traditionally, this is done through seminars, lectures, and extensive reading, but it doesn't have to be. Putting your skills into practice and working on your technique, considering your approach, or drawing on learnings from mentors can also work to the same effect. I found that variations in how you apply your skills can also add value and really test how transferable they are. More than anything though, it enables you to maintain the passion that drives your skills. You don't want to find yourself in a position where you are monotonously applying your skills and growing tired of the routine. Ultimately, you want to develop your skills to a level that demands respect and separates you from the ordinary person. You want to be world class at the top of your respective chain. So my advice there is do what you have to do to be the best you can. Law 7. Pay for the courses, read the books, and talk to the relevant people. Identify your core skills and focus on bringing them to fruition. Law 7 is only achieved after you have successfully implemented and mastered Law 6. Once you have used as many self-improvement techniques on yourself as possible, you will notice a change in your environment as you naturally mix with different people. These changes are milestones, and for every milestone you reach, you will begin to notice a different atmosphere. As you become equipped with the right amount of knowledge, you will begin your fascinating journey into exploring the unknown. With the correct skills and mindset, you will be able to travel far whilst meeting other people who are also on their journey. This is where you can exchange ideas and help each other discover new plans which move forward. Have you ever been sat around a table with a group of people and you really want to join in with the conversation, but you feel that what you say might be irrelevant? Many others sat around that very table have a similar thought, as they may be in a similar position to you on their own journey. But you must remember, some people are in front, others behind. They are also sharing their thoughts and experience, while others in a different part of their journey are asking questions to learn from them. You must be very careful in this, as some people aren't as truthful about their position on their journey. They will be involved merely for information. These people will be easy to spot, and you will feel the group conversation shorten in their presence. Another important aspect of the hidden world is to meditate again. Being in tune with your body will ensure you are protected in times of need. When you need protection or even guidance for your adventures, it is beneficial to be able to stop and focus your mind through a meditative state. When you reach a higher stepping stone and start to experience the hidden world, you will experience new people, new food, new cultures, new music. This is what life on Earth is all about, to experience the unknown until it is familiar to you. The amazing thing is that the adventure never ends because self-improvement never ends. There are always more languages and countries you can visit, always more knowledge you can learn from. Law 8. Industry limit. By reading self-improvement books and listening to motivational speakers, you will come to realize that the secret behind major success is to generate an income from at least 5 different streams. Your 5 income streams will be most beneficial if they are within the same industry. I say this with emphasis because there are endless entrepreneurs who invest in industries that they have little knowledge on and generate huge loss as a result. For ultimate success, I believe people should stay in their trade. A mechanic is in a motor industry, a solicitor is in a law industry, a footballer is in a sports industry. When I emphasize keeping ventures within the same field, I mean investigate your trade and build on it. Spread your knowledge into different areas around that industry. For example, the mechanic could buy and sell cars, sell car parts, venture into motorbikes, teach, have a recovery business, and even own a car showroom. The income streams are endless. So why merge into an industry that could risk your profit? Even if you have a passion for an industry that differs from your main trade, this method may still work in your favor. With passion comes enjoyment. So naturally, you will welcome additional work and be able to successfully push towards different industries at the same time. When working in a specific field, the goal is to always master it no matter the price. Mastery is a continuous process that never ends. But when you're doing something you love, you never want it to end, right? So focus and keep at it. After applying this method, it will be easier for you to generate 5 income streams. Living life, doing what you enjoy, should be your aim. Start your journey by evaluating what needs to change, whether it is moving back into your parents' house, downsizing your property, or even selling your car. Do whatever it takes to get you on track. Later down the line, once you have made that leap into a new life and generate an income from a passion, you can enjoy the luxuries of a bigger home, more expensive car, for example. You will quickly realize you are in the right industry when Monday morning isn't a struggle and you aren't counting down the days until the weekend. Remember, like mentioned in Law 2, use your negative emotions to help you find motivation. Channel any emotion you have into whatever it is you are doing. Follow these laws and soon you will be able to say, I love what I do. You will be someone who can enjoy life's luxuries and effortlessly continue to grow your business through an increasing knowledge and experience of success. Law number 9. Don't watch face. When it comes to us as individuals, we forget we are living in our own little worlds. Everyone has different responsibilities, are experiencing different circumstances, and are surrounded by different environments. So, when it comes to trying to analyze other people, there are so many variables that are beneath the surface that will hinder you in your process. For example, there could be someone trying to discourage your financial abilities and mock you for having less than them. When you have parents who are funding their life and all its supposed luxuries, this is likely a part of their life they choose not to openly share, which may lead the victim of their scrutiny to pushing themselves to work harder and eventually engage in illegal activities just to match up. People who stay in a zone and don't look around at others will win the race. Stay focused on yourself and you will discover new innovations from self-concentration that will help you win all the races you find yourself in. This method is proven to be the most effective. You are your only competition and the goal is to get better every time. I don't believe in maintaining your level of success. You're either getting better or worse, so choose your direction. Law 10. Mini notepad. True entrepreneurs are plagued with new and innovative ideas all day long, and often in the most inconvenient and odd places. One moment you are carrying a shopping home, the next you've got caught up in a groundbreaking idea. It really does happen to the best of us, but the key is to make sure that you jot these ideas down as soon as possible. Whilst it is fresh in your mind and enthusiasm is flowing through your veins, it is more of a reason that I recommend you always have a notepad and a pen at hand. Now I know what you are thinking. In the age of smartphones and digital accessories, What use is there in a notepad and a pen? Well, I'll tell you. There is a creative art in physically writing things, which enables your thoughts and ingenuity to grow. What more? The visual aspects of writing increases the likelihood of being able to recall information and emotion. In this way, when you return to an idea, you'll be hit with a very excitement that you initially had when you wrote it. Jotting things down is now an instructive habit for me. Not only do I record my ideas, I record conversations, recommendations, and areas of advancement. We've all had a moment where we found ourselves in discussion and wishing we had a pen at hand. This is about reducing these moments. I also want to touch on the law of attraction again. I believe that when writing with emotion, with the correct amount of thought, whatever you wish will come to pass. This is highly advised when it comes to mental programming and building up neural links in your mind to manifest what you truly desire. Another important aspect is to keep a record of how people make you feel and decide. Is there a benefit to your well-being? Is engaging in regular conversations with them a positive influence on your life? If not, just like anything else, you may forget these traits and you could possibly become a victim to negative energy, which impacts your journey towards your end goal. As humans, we forget things, so it's important to document everything. Things that make us feel good, things that make us feel bad. As crazy as it sounds, we forget what makes us feel bad a lot of the time and fall into a trap. This is where a combination of Law 2 is needed to give you the right mindset to stay disciplined and do what makes you feel good and stop doing what makes you feel bad. It's as simple as that. One tip to judge what makes you feel bad is the end result of the engagement or activity. As I will always say, look at the ancient Egyptians. They documented everywhere and anywhere. And still to this day, nobody's figured out how the pyramids were made. Success leaves clues behind, and this is one of them. If you can invent your own code of writing, even better. That way, nobody can take your information and use it. Law 11. Year planner. Last but not least, get yourself a planner. Having an A1 sized yearly planner is a game changer, and you'll be surprised how much you can fit in it. As you would expect, you can achieve so much in a day if you had given the structure of your day some thought. Before you know it, you'll somehow find time to visit that friend that you can never fit in, pick up that skill that you've always wanted to learn, most importantly, to achieve more in a day than you ever could. I can tell you from personal experience, there is no greater feeling than crossing off a task day on a life-sized calendar after a productive day. Okay, maybe there are a few feelings that are better, but you get the point. More importantly, I tend not to cross off the days if there are incompleted tasks. By doing this, I'm able to see how productive my week, month or year has been and to reassess my behavior to encourage a better performance the following week, month or year. Ultimately, what I hope to achieve is a lengthy chain of crosses and an even longer chain of completed tasks. When used correctly, a planner can be your most valuable tool. Update it unrelentingly with your goals, tasks, upcoming events, contacts and reminders. I have no doubt that you'll reap the rewards within moments.
10:30 will bring you the rest of the day's news as England beats South Africa by an innings.
The title of this book is called Let Me Put You On. The author's name is Nathan Smith, and it's also narrated by the same person, Nathan Smith. I want to say a big thank you for Blank Box Studios, where we recorded this audiobook. I hope all of the information in this audio has helped you in some way in your life, and you also apply it. Thank you for listening, and I'll be looking forward to hearing from you soon.